This is Ron Kelleher with the Inspired Leadership Podcast, episode number 575. Today's episode is entitled, Do You Know the Secret Ingredient to Success When Motivation Fails?
Hello, and welcome to Inspired Leadership, the podcast for Christian leaders in the marketplace who want to be the best leaders they can be. And now your host, Ron Kelleher.
Envision a contemporary leader at the helm of a desperately struggling business. The initial stages are driven by a strong motivation, clear goals, strategic plans, and a determined mindset. However, as the journey unfolds, the leader encounters daunting challenges, skepticism from stakeholders, a lack of morale among employees, and intense market competition. In such a landscape, the spark of motivation that ignited the journey can begin to flicker. This scenario mirrors the biblical narrative of Nehemiah, who faced immense challenges in rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. In both instances, it's not solely the initial motivation or the robustness of strategies that ensures success. It is the infusion of inspiration that becomes pivotal. Understanding and harnessing this dynamic interplay of motivation and inspiration can turn daunting challenges into remarkable achievements. Nehemiah's journey, as Nehemiah chapters 1 through 6 depicts, presents a masterclass in leadership, demonstrating the vital role of inspiration, especially when motivation falters. His ability to navigate through skepticism and demoralization to accomplish his monumental task provides valuable lessons for today's leaders. So we'll explore 7 pivotal lessons drawn from Nehemiah's example. Accordingly, each lesson offers critical insights and strategies for Christian leaders to navigate the complexities of modern leadership effectively. First up is visionary leadership. Nehemiah's journey begins with a vision. Faced with the desolation of Jerusalem's walls, he not only sees ruins, but he also sees what Jerusalem could be. Nehemiah 2:5 says, And I said to the king, if it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor in your sight, that you send me to Judah, to the city of my father's graves, that I may rebuild it. His vision is one of construction, as well as about restoring a sense of security and pride among the people. As leaders, our role often involves painting a picture for a better future, not just outlining goals. Number 2, unwavering faith in adversity. A key element of Nehemiah's leadership was his unwavering faith in God, particularly evident when he faced accusations and attacks. Nehemiah 4, verses 4 and 5, shows his immediate turn to prayer in response to ridicule. Nehemiah said, Hear, O God, for we are despised. Turn back their taunt on their own heads and give them up to be plundered in a land where they are captives. Nehemiah sought God's intervention instead of responding with despair or retaliation, showing his deep reliance on divine guidance and support. Number 3, inspiring through challenges. Nehemiah faced opposition and ridicule. Yet his response to these challenges was persistence and an ability to inspire others. In this way, Nehemiah inspired the people through his unwavering faith and commitment, crucially at a time when motivation could have quickly dwindled under mockery and threats. Leaders today may not face literal opposition, but in times of skepticism or internal challenges, how we inspire our teams and stakeholders can make a vast difference. Number 4, prayer as a source of strength. Throughout the rebuilding process, Nehemiah continually turned to prayer for strength and guidance. Reliance on prayer wasn't a sign of weakness, but a testament to his strength and leadership. Facing adversity, he didn't just rely on his wisdom or strategies. He sought God's guidance, which was a profound source of inspiration for his people. Number 5, the power of collective action. Nehemiah knew that the task was beyond his capacity. He rallied the community, assigning tasks and building a sense of collective responsibility. This communal effort sped up the work and strengthened the community's bond. In leadership, fostering a culture of teamwork and shared purpose can be a source of ongoing inspiration. Number 6, leading by example. Nehemiah wasn't just a commander, but a participant in the work. His hands-on approach and refusal to exploit his position for personal gain were powerful sources of inspiration for the people. Similarly, in modern leadership, being part of the trenches, demonstrating integrity, and sharing in the collective burden can serve as a powerful inspirational focus. And number 7, faith in action. Nehemiah's faith was active and coupled with passion. As such, when faced with threats, he organized guards and implemented practical strategies for protection. His approach exemplifies the balance of faith and works, demonstrating that while we must trust in God, we are also called to act diligently and wisely. In conclusion, Nehemiah's story is more than a historical account. It's a timeless leadership lesson, particularly in understanding the intricate interplay between motivation and inspiration. Nehemiah's journey from a cupbearer to a leader who rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem is a powerful testament to how these two forces can dynamically interact, especially in the face of adversity. In the business, government, and church leadership realms today, we often find ourselves charting courses through uncertain and challenging terrains. Like Nehemiah, our initial motivation might stem from a clear goal or a sense of duty. However, it's inspiration drawn from our faith, the collective spirit of our teams, and the larger vision of what we aim to achieve that sustains and propels us forward when obstacles seem insurmountable. Nehemiah's story encourages us as leaders to not only rely on the force of our motivation, but to also seek and nurture inspirational sources. It further reminds us that our leadership journey is as much about keeping our spirits and those of our followers uplifted as it is about achieving our objectives. In blending motivation with inspiration and intertwining our actions with faith, we can lead in a way that builds tangible results and fosters reliance, unity, and a higher sense of purpose. In today's leadership landscape, let Nehemiah's example guide us to set our sights on our goals and elevate the hearts and minds of those we lead, turning challenges into opportunities for growth and transformation. Well, that's it for this week, and as always, questions and comments are welcome. How has inspiration helped you succeed when motivation faltered? I'd love it if you'd come over to the website at ronkelleher.com/episode 575 and leave me a question or a comment. And as always, before we go, I'd like to ask you to do me a quick favor, and that is to hop on over to whatever podcast service you're listening to this on. Leave a ranking for the show and a comment if you wish. It really does help us get the show into the hands of more and more people. So I thank you in advance for that and pray that God would help us all to be the powerful and the inspired leaders He intends us to be. That's it for this episode of Inspired Leadership. You'll find a complete transcript of this episode on my website at www.ronkelleher.com. My prayer now is that you'll go out and be the powerful, inspired leader that God intends us to be.
Thanks for listening to the Inspired Leadership Podcast at www.ronkelleher.com.